talk about the experience of having to navigate through that. Operation costs, employees, permits, right? Like inventory, all these things that you have to deal with, they all cost money. How are we doing navigating through that during your journey? Obviously, COVID is part of your business story as well. How have we navigated through that and come out on top? You're talking about new profit margins. This is incredible. How are we doing this?
I'll start. Well, so for me, staffing, like you have no business without staff if you're in the service business. And a lot of people don't get that. So for me, for years, I've been strategizing, like, how can I make my staff never want to work anywhere else? So I tried certain things didn't work. I remember being out with my husband on our anniversary, and I got a text, in one of my locations, the whole staff walked out and quit at the same time. And so it's like the duality of life, like amazing things happen at the same time as like crazy things, and you develop strength to get through it. So after that, I'm like, yo, I have to figure this out. I have to slow down. And so developing a compensation model for my staff where they would feel like there is no glass ceiling was super important. I finally got there to the point where staff was like, oh, can I have more hours? Can I work more? Can I do this? And so for me and that service business, and the same for Black Box franchising, like how can we make it so the staff never wants to leave, and everything else we could figure out because our team and our foundation is strong. And that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
For me, the only major financial challenge that I ever came up against was when it was time to acquire the property. It was a $1.3 million acquisition. It was supposed to be an $800,000 renovation, because we're talking some shipping containers and renovating an old tow truck company on a huge lot. And then DC government got involved, and the electric company and gas company and, DDOT and all these agencies. And what was supposed to be $800,000 turned into a $2.3 million renovation. And so that's when I was like, okay, now we've tapped out. Because I was able to do, the first $1 million, I spent my money. I spent my $1 million to be able to fund $1 million of the first $1 million of the renovation. And then after that, I tapped out with all the things that we had to do, the soil remediation and the paving sidewalks and planting trees and all that. It just got overwhelming. And for me, I tend to tap into my activist side, right? So part of my work is an activist in DC. And so I called on the council members, and I was like, I hadn't told anybody publicly what I was doing yet, what I was building, what I was working on. But I sent a text to the council, and I was like, yo, look, I don't really ask DC for a lot, but I do a lot for this city. And so this is the time where I'm gonna just have to flex a little bit and let you guys know how many businesses I've helped. I'll put my numbers up against DC government when it comes to how I support small business and show up for Black people in the city. And what I'm about to do is going to be able to help so many more people. I need $1 million. Basically what I'm asking is for $1 million. And it's so crazy because for Black people and for small business owners, that sounds like so much money. But when Walmart and them come into the city, that's nothing. Like, that's so small. And like, they ask for that and tax breaks and all sorts of incentives. And the cities, not even just DC, the cities give it to them. And so I think we just got to get better about positioning ourselves to be able to ask government for what we deserve. But you also have to be in a position to do that, right? Like, everybody can't do that. I've built enough of a reputation in DC to be able to do that and to be able to text council members, right? Like, I know my council members, they know me. And I sent out a text and I was like, y'all, I need $1 million, and I need it, meaning I don't have time to apply for a grant. I need you guys to approve some emergency legislation to be able to get this money to me, because this is what's happening on the project and I need it. And it unanimously passed. Every single council member voted yes. The mayor signed off on it. Within about 45 days, I had the $1 million to finish the project. And outside of that, I hadn't had any financial troubles. I didn't grow up with money. Like, I grew up, with my parents on drugs. My grandmother and grandfather raised us, brothers doing life in prison. Like, I was taught you don't owe people money. Mm-hmm. So credit cards were wild to me. Like, I can't owe these people money. If I don't have it, I don't have it. And so I always had that mindset. And I've, of course, switched that just very recently. Switched that. Like, it's a poverty mindset. You know what I mean? For a lot of people.
He's been watching Leisure.
I knew what to say. I knew not to perpetuate that. But I've switched that mindset for sure. And it's a big mindset shift to make. And now, I'm able to do things with my business, but I still try to do things by reinvesting my revenue as much as possible, because I think it also allows my customers to want to support me. Like I think you're in a unique position when you have a brick and mortar business and you're a Black business owner, because y'all know Black people, especially when your customers are Black. 99% of my customers are Black, and they want to see where their money's going because it's their money, right? Like they're looking at your business like, I've been buying your spices for years and you still got the same bottles. Like no, like they want to see that the store looks nicer and the bottles and the packaging are better and the website looks different, and they really pay attention to that stuff. And so when they see us reinvesting the revenue, it's like, oh, okay, because they feel like, oh, I helped do that. And that's cool, right? I get it.
Yeah.
That is so true. They really do. Like, they come into the tea shop like they are silent investors. I'm like, I've been with you since day one buying a $5 cup of tea. And you're like, okay, girl, I got you. But I wanted to add to that, too. Like, we had to get creative, really, like making sure that we're collaborating with other companies since day one. So, like, we didn't mention earlier, like, the way we started was because we kept getting no's. Aleathia was going out because, again, I was 24 when we started this. I really was shy to, like, think about having a real estate. I was like, oh my God, I just got a credit card, chill out. So she was like, I've been out here trying to get a lease, and they were telling us, no, like, y'all don't have a proven concept. No. And so finally she approached, or somebody was like, y'all should go approach this cupcake shop. And it's in Ormwood near East Atlanta Village. East Atlanta. And so we went to them, Indulge Cupcakes. We went, and they said yes. That was our first yes. They said, y'all can put up a counter on this wall right here. We sell cupcakes, y'all sell the tea, we'll make it work. And we went from there. And so getting creative, making sure we collaborated, and we really stayed there for 5 years. The only reason we moved out was because the space was tiny. Like, we was outgrowing it. In 2020, we shut down for people to come inside to experience it. We had a drive-through window. Both of us had our own square POS at the window, ringing people up separately. Line wrapped around the building, which is great. We had customers, but then the landlord said, y'all blocking traffic and y'all doing this and y'all got to change. And we was like, okay, we have a second. We already had 2 locations and it was 10 minutes from each other. We said, we're going to make the hard decision, because those became like our best friends, like talking to them every single day. And we shut that location down and opened up a warehouse, because as we talked about earlier, online sales like really increased. And so we knew we were packing online orders on a table this size, like hundreds of orders. We had a big order come through for an event company. 10,000 orders had to be shipped out. We brought in our family and friends, was on a back table, but we were like, let's get creative on how we can stretch and make sure we can see our net profit, because we do not want staffing to eat it all up. We do not want inventory to eat it up. We need to see how this big old check they sending over that felt big at the time, how can we make sure we feel it and we can reinvest it into the company and do things that we need to do, like redo the website, get better videos and YouTube videos posted for that. And so just being creative in collaboration and building community on top of that was what really helps us currently to do that. Because right now we're also inside of another shared cafe too.
And we haven't had our own standalone location yet. That is what's around the corner for us. We have, one of the things that has helped us also is that we are a business inside of a business. That has helped sustain us because it's been hard. We did see some growth during COVID. Because people turned to something like tea for the wellness, and we actually leaned into that. We developed a tea for COVID to help stimulate the lungs and get the mucus out and helps repair the esophagus and all of that stuff, and it works. And so people started looking at not just for the breathing thing, but also because we were stressed. People were stressed during that time. And so we have a tea called Hakuna Matata that relaxes you, that gives you that peaceful feeling. It helps get rid of the nerves and things like that. And so during COVID, we saw growth. And that's when those companies started saying, okay, our team is away, they're home, they're working from home. And so we want to connect with them. So we did a virtual tasting. We sent everybody the boxes, Japan, Canada, all over the place. And we mailed those boxes out and we did a virtual tea tasting with them. And that, those kinds of things really help keep us going. And we also, one of our talks that we did before was with 2 other tea companies. So we definitely believe in community over competition. We are looking to do even more with them, like ordering, if you all using the same cups, the same supplies, the same sugar, and all of those things. We buy in bulk, and it costs less. And so we're talking about that with not only the restaurant that we're inside of for different supplies, but also with those tea companies. And we talk. We're friends with Just Add Honey, with Indulge Cupcake, where we started. And so there are a lot of people that may not seem like they did enough, but just those boosts, and even just talking to you all, these kinds of things helps get you to that next place. It helps keep you inspired and help you know, wow, I'm over here just saying, wow, because it's just like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's so amazing.